Joining us now from Munich, Republican Congressman Mike Turner from Ohio. He's on the House Armed Services Committee, was the chair of the House Intelligence Committee, and he's heading up the U.S. House delegation at the Munich Security Conference. Congressman, good to see you. You met with Zelensky today. What did he have to say?
Good evening, Jake. Well, Jake, he was very upbeat. In fact, not only was he just upbeat, he's well on the elements of what could go in a deal. And I was, very taken aback by the fact that people's reactions to J.D. Vance's speech. I couldn't have imagined that anybody expected J.D. Vance was going to take the stage and outline the principles of a deal. You don't negotiate a deal at Munich. Munich is where you coalesce. You bring people together beyond, together around, principles. And those principles are: we're supporting Ukraine. We're going to bring peace. We're going to bring Putin to the table. That deal is going to have to be negotiated between Zelensky, the United States, and Putin. And there's a lot of work yet to be done.
The Washington Post is reporting, Josh Rogan, that your delegation presented President Zelensky with a piece of paper for him to sign that would have granted the U.S. rights to 50% of Ukraine's future mineral reserves. Rogan reports, quote, Zelensky politely declined to sign it, unquote. Is that correct?
No, our delegation did not. So our delegation includes 17 senators, 15 members of the House, of which I lead. We did discuss that issue with President Zelensky. He's very eager to get U.S. investment for both the mineral and other energy resources that are in Ukraine. He sees it as a way to both bring in future security guarantees, but also future investment into Ukraine. He is in discussions with the White House about those resources and what they mean really for the future of the economy and for the relationship between the U.S. and Ukraine. I think they're very important for Ukraine's future. But of course, that means there has to be peace. In order for people to be able to make an investment, in order for those resources to be extracted, in order for them to have economic impact, you have to have peace.
So no one in the delegation presented him with a piece of paper to sign?
No, we did not, no.
Senator Roger Wicker, who's the chairman of the Senate Foreign Relations Committee, said in an interview with Politico that Pete Hegseth saying up front, before any peace negotiations have started, that Ukraine can't be a member of NATO, that Ukraine can't go back to 2014 borders. He said that was a rookie mistake. He said the comments were disturbing. What did you think of what Secretary Hegseth said?
Well, I think it's certainly premature for anyone to put down any element of a deal. And I think certainly everything needs to be on the table. That's how you get a deal. Certainly the issues of NATO and the future of NATO for Ukraine needs to be open. Similarly, where those boundaries lie need to be open. Those are part of the negotiations. President Trump himself have left them open. And they need to, certainly we don't need members of the cabinet of President Trump's cabinet to be defining those in the public. That's what's going to be part of the negotiations. President Zelensky's discussions with us today was that all of those need to be part of the negotiations, and certainly they relate to really the future of Ukraine and its viability and its sovereignty and its security.
We also heard some European leaders expressing displeasure with Vice President Vance signaling some support for far-right political parties in Europe. Take a listen to this excerpt.
But what no democracy, American, German, or European, will survive is telling millions of voters that their thoughts and concerns, their aspirations, their pleas for relief are invalid or unworthy of even being considered. Democracy rests on the sacred principle that the voice of the people matters. There's no room for firewalls.
Vice President Vance also urged the Europeans to end their opposition to anti-immigration parties such as Germany's far-right AfD party, which has been characterized by the German government as a suspected extremist party. Now, we know Vice President Vance met with the leader of AfD today. What do you make of all this?
Well, I think these are just continuing themes that Vance has advanced, I think, within certainly the Republican Party. But I think, as we look to European political parties, they're going to have to work these issues out themselves.
All right, Congressman Mike Turner, always good to see you. Enjoy yourself in Munich there. Must be a pretty cool experience. Really appreciate your time here.
A lot of work to do here, Jake. Thank you.